Hi guys, it's Ronnie again, and I'm doing another video. I can't believe it. I did have a lot of fun making the first one, and you guys really seem to like it, so why not? So today I'm going to make quesadillas. It's one of my go-to light snacks to make when I'm running out of points and I tend to have leftovers in the fridge. It's something you can whip up. The key to good light quesadillas is having tortillas that you really like. And there's tons out there. I always say look for the low-carb tortillas because those are the ones that are usually lower in calories anyway, so it works out. So these, if you happen to have a Weiss Market by you, these are my absolute favorite. They're called Canyon River. They're like the store brand. But they're the perfect thickness. They roll, they make great quesadillas, they make great wraps. They're really good. They're only 63 calories, 3 grams of fat and 6 grams of fiber. So I use these all the time. The Trader Joe's has a great low carb that's great for tacos, those kinds of things. So I'm going to make a really quick quesadilla. I actually didn't have leftovers that would make good quesadilla filling, so I just had some baby spinach leaves and some diced pepper, and I kind of loosely chopped both, and that's going to be my filling along with some cheese. So what I'm going to do here, and I'm doing this alone, so I always feel like I don't know if you guys are seeing what I'm seeing or what I think you're seeing, so this will work. So I have a pot of water, and I'm going to use that for weight of the quesadilla to get the outside crispy and to make sure that the middles are all melted. You don't need any crazy quesadilla makers. I know some people have them, they probably love them. I just don't want another gadget in my kitchen. I already have too many. So I came up with this idea when I just wanted to have the outside crispy. I know some people bake their quesadillas, that works as well, or just they don't flatten them, and that also works. So I'm going to use the pot of water. So I'm going to turn on my nonstick pan here to like a medium high, and you can see my pan is like, it's totally bent. I use it a lot. I probably should get a new one, but this will work. So I'm not going to spray it with nonstick spray or anything. If you have a good nonstick pan, for this you shouldn't have to. If I'm sauteing vegetables or something, I do, or making eggs or something like that. So I'm going to take out well, that one's kind of all messed up, so we'll get a new one. I'm going to take out two tortillas, and I always warm one, so I'm going to put one on there. We'll get another one out. Of course, they're all sticky, but I'll fix them when I shut the camera off. All right. So I kind of warm one. I know a lot of people don't do this, but I kind of have those callous cook fingers, you know, where heat doesn't really bother them that much. So I warm one on one side. And normally during this time I would be preparing everything, but I wanted to be prepared to do the video. So what I did was I just took a handful of baby spinach leaves and I just kind of chopped them, because you don't want the whole spinach leaf, because then if it cooks a little too much, when you're biting into quesadilla, you want strings of baby spinach leaves, cooked baby spinach leaves kind of coming out. So I chop it so you don't get those long stems. And then I took red pepper and I just chopped up some red bell pepper. And this combination actually is really good with some cheese. Now the cheese trick, and I'm going to like to warm both sides of one first. Okay. So the cheese trick, what I do is, I think you can see my scale here. I just have a regular old digital scale. Actually, it's in the store if you guys are interested in seeing which one I have. And I always keep a plastic cup on top of the scale, and I use it to measure things like loose, like a handful of nuts or cheese. I'm usually measuring cheese because I'm kind of a cheese fanatic. So what I do is, and I have my shredded cheese here, I just use the cup, put it in the cheese, measure out an ounce or half an ounce or however much I want. For one quesadilla I usually use an ounce. If I feel like I can spare a little bit more calories, I'll kind of up it to an ounce and a half or 2 ounces. Then I keep the cheese in there until I'm ready to use it. Once I use it, I rinse out the cup, keep it on the scale, and I kind of always have a way to measure loose things like candies. See where I go with that. So anyway, alright, so this one's kind of warm. I'm going to put it to the side because that one will be my top. And then I'll warm another shell. And what I like to do, I warm them to help the cheese melt a little bit, and honestly, sometimes I do things I'm not really sure why. It just kind of works for me. So take what I say sometimes with a grain of salt on the scientific reason why I do it. So I'll warm one, and actually I know why I do it. Usually it's because while I'm still being prepared, I don't want one side to get super crispy. So I warm the inside side while I'm cutting everything up, and then I'll flip them around, and then the outside gets crispy, but you're getting into weird Ronnie mindset stuff. Okay, anyway, so this one's being warmed, so I'll flip this now, and I always start with a little bit of cheese on the bottom so that everything sticks together. I kind of half the cheese in half. Half the cheese in half. Yeah, I'm not really that good at this. Put my toppings on. I don't know if you guys can see what I'm doing. You know, it's not an exact science, just kind of sprinkle everything on and make sure you have even amounts on, like along the whole tortilla. And see, I can hear it sizzling. And usually this process takes me long, which is why I put the tortilla shell on and then flip it so that one side doesn't get too crispy before all the cheese goes. Then I'll take the rest of the cheese and kind of just, I actually think it's too high, lower it a little bit. You can smell it. Take the rest of the cheese, sprinkle it around, put my warm shell on top, press it down, and then use the pot of water to kind of give it some weight. And that's really the only reason why I do it, to make sure that the heat can kind of penetrate through the one shell and get into the middle while making the one shell crispy. And I can smell it. I think it's already going to probably be cooked too much because I had the temperature too high. So let's see. I'll flip it. Plus, it kind of gives it a chance to stick. So, remember how I told you I was a sloppy cook? Yeah. And then maybe you'll kind of see it now as I flip this and things come pouring out. Alright. It works. Okay, so then I'll put the top on again. Now normally I probably would have let that first one sit a little longer, but since I smelled the shell kind of getting a little overcooked, I didn't want to burn it since I only have one take at this, unless I want to eat a whole nother quesadilla, which I don't. So normally like 1 to 2 minutes, it's not that long. If your heat is like medium, so medium high might have been a little too high, try medium, and leave that on for about 2 minutes. And then we'll cut it up, and you can see how you'll be able to hear kind of the crispiness that this kind of creates. It's a really simple concept. It's not rocket science, but when you really, sometimes I think when you are hungry but you don't want to kind of ruin the whole day with eating a large point snack, when you make something, it's, for me anyway, it's kind of more inherently satisfying because I feel like the process of making it and then eating it, the whole ordeal is satisfying in itself, where I didn't just grab a bag of chips and down 400 calories mindlessly. I made an effort to make something that's a little healthier and better for me, and that in itself is kind of rewarding. So let me get rid of my garbage. And see my cheese cup, if I didn't want to cross over it, I'd rinse it right now and then put it back on my scale. I already poured out some salsa in a little, presentation is a lot, so I like kind of laying out the quesadilla on the plate and having my little salsa dipping dish. It's great. So that should be good. Alright, so I'm going to shut off the heat. I'm going to take my water off, which is a little heavy. And a pizza cutter. And I'm actually going to flip this over so you can kind of see that both sides are crispy. Pizza cutter works great to cut quesadillas. So I'm going to cut this. I think I have to do it on the counter. So I'm going to cut this on the counter. I don't know if you can hear that. I hope you can. But it's like really, it's super crispy actually. And I'm sure depending on the tortilla shells that you use, the crispiness will vary. But, oh, it's super crispy actually. It's good. Alright. So I'm going to kind of pile them up. And then I have my salsa, and I'm ready for like a great lunch. And for those of you counting Weight Watchers points, the tortillas that I use are only 1 point a piece. Like I said, they're 60 calories. 1 ounce of cheese, and the veggies are free. So you do the math. It kind of works. And you can see I hope you can see it. I'm probably already way too close. That works. So video number 2 done. I hope. Maybe we'll see if I post it, if it comes out good. And I guess that's it. Thanks again.